I'd like to welcome everybody through to the Great Train Race, an annual event which is held in terms of busy getting collectible vehicles, planes and trains together as one combination. The idea around this was to get vehicles from as early an age as possible, right up until modern collectibles, and it is an owners-only type event. It is the only owners-only event in the country whereby the public do not come through to the event itself. It is specifically for the owners of the cars, and by doing this we find that we actually get some of the best cars in the country and the best examples of these cars out on the day. The same thing goes with the planes. We're finding that we're getting planes all the way from the 1900s coming through, right up until modern day planes, and they're coming through to the airfield of selection on the day.
My name is Ivan van der Skaal. I'm the owner of this 1941 Boeing Stearman. The aircraft was mainly used in the Second World War to train pilots for active duty from 1941 to 45. Became a crop duster after that, found its way to South Africa in 2000, and I bought it in 2012. It now serves around South Africa on the airshow circuit, thrilling crowds from all ages. So this Boeing Stearman is equipped with a 450 horsepower supercharged Pratt & Whitney motor. They came out in the Second World War with a 220 horsepower, and then with the crop spraying they got upgraded to the bigger motor. Basically I burn 80 litres of fuel an hour, 2 litres of oil. Gives me roughly about 2 k's to a litre, so it's quite a costly aeroplane to fly. But I've flown air shows in Mozambique, Botswana, Swaziland and pretty much throughout Southern Africa. Basically been flying all my life. Started flying as a young child, graduated into one of the local airlines, and I'm a Boeing 737 captain with them at the moment, and in my spare time I get to play with this awesome Boeing.
This is a 1958 Cadillac Series 75 Imperial Limousine. It belongs to Mark Stefano. These cars were originally imported by the South African government. 3 of them were imported, and 1 was kept in Pretoria, 1 in Bloemfontein and 1 in Cape Town. And they were used for ministerial duties at each centre. The car is very luxurious at the back, and the front is very Spartan because obviously the dignitaries sat at the back. It has its own air conditioning system at the back, no air conditioning in front. These were not custom built, they were built by General Motors in the factory. It's called an Imperial limousine because it has a small back window. You could get the limousine with a bigger back window as well. The reason for the small back window is to give privacy, so that the dignitaries at the back can have some privacy.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, so my name is Bernd Asbeck. I'm born in Austria and I came to South Africa about 9.5 years ago. So it was a childhood dream to always fly aerobatics. So I took the decision in South Africa to actually go for my private pilot license for the pure reason to fly aerobatics. It took me about 2 years to get my license because I'm running a business and I have to work. And on the day, in 2016, I actually got my private pilot license, and on that day, I took my first aerobatic lesson. So I love aerobatics, and it's a big passion and it's my hobby. It did not leave me really an option then to buy my own aeroplane. So what you see here now is a Charles 202, so it's an unlimited aerobatic 2-seater aeroplane. I only got here recently, so not too long ago. So I just started to get into it to fly here because it's a very interesting and challenging plane to fly, and you will see me in the upcoming season to fly in aerobatic competitions and to see and prove the capabilities of me as a pilot and the capabilities of my aeroplane.
Good morning, my name is Vic Kampfer, and we're from Tom Kampfer Motors, the Volvo dealer in Auckland Park. So this lovely Dino that we have the privilege of owning was a car that we had bought in Johannesburg. It was a Joburg car. It was an official delivery in Johannesburg, one of only 6 Dinos that came to South Africa originally from Ferrari. And yeah, it was an everyday car when we got it, and So we decided to just do some work on it, and it went to a friend of mine, Carlos, who's also an avid car enthusiast. And Carlos says to me, "Vic, come and have a look at the Dino." And I went to Carlos's place, and all I found was the chassis and a lot of boxes. So that's where the restoration started. So it was a 2-year restoration. A lot of research went into the car, making sure that every single item is particular and original and the way it's supposed to be. And so yes, the car was restored. We entered the Dino after restoration into the Concours Durban that the car won, and thereafter the Great Allocade had won the Concours South Africa as well, the last one that was held in 2019. So yes, a fantastic job, a pleasure to drive, a pleasure to own, a really lovely car, and she drives beautifully.
Hi, I'm Byron. Been flying this Bowers Flybaby now for about 4 years. It was designed probably in the mid-1960s by an American chap named Peter Bowers. And yeah, it falls into the light sport category. It's a fairly slow flight, lots of bumps. And yeah, it keeps me busy on the weekends. Okay, the aircraft is powered by a Lycoming 0235. It's a 115 horsepower engine. Fairly small in aeroplane terms. The longest flight I've done with the aircraft is from East London, which was about 500 miles. Took the better part of a day via Bloemfontein. At the moment I'm actually working on a PPL license just to try and go to a higher weight category. It's no interest in commercial aviation at all. It's purely a hobby for me. It's really an obsession really I've had since childhood.
Well, I can tell you it's a beautiful man for a beautiful plane.
Thanks
It's like,
so much.
I think you guys suit each other beautifully.
And this is a 1963 Maserati 3500 GT. This particular car we found in Bloemfontein in boxes. And after a 4-year rebuild, this is one of the first times it's been out. The car was built by Touring, which is full aluminium body, built in Italy by Touring. And it's a twin ignition, straight 6-cylinder, 3.5 litre. We put a lot of work and effort into the car because a lot of the stuff was missing. Like for instance, the interior is all new, but handmade to copy. Luckily though, we had another car to copy, so we were able to do it. Okay, this particular car was built in 1963. However, in 1957, Maserati had just won the World Championship with Fangio, and they were more or less bankrupt. So they decided to fund their Formula One endeavours, they would have to build a road car, similar to what Ferrari had done. So they came out with this 3.5 litre in 1958, which was used the same engine as the 450F, just detuned, the Formula One car, just detuned for road use. They built them up to 1964 and they were very, very expensive new. They were more expensive than a Ferrari, or to give you some idea, 2.5 times the price of an E-Type Jag.
Say thank you to all the participants that came through to the Great Train Race today. Without the people which bring their vehicles to the spectacular event, it would not be the event that it actually is. At the same time, the weather played its part. We had a magnificent turnout on 200 vehicles and 65 planes. Rovos also brought through the steam train through to the railway station, and it was a combination of planes, trains and automobiles which built up to a spectacular day with all of these automotive experiences having come together as one. I'd like to say thank you through to our key sponsors, which is Rockshore Insurance Brokers as well as the Infinity Insurance Company. Both of them are specialists in the vintage, classics and collectible lines as well as the aviation insurance industry.